What's up, we got next? I know a lot of you guys that are out there viewing this are from the younger generation, and you're at a stage in your life where you're growing up, getting a little older, and some things are beginning to change. And you know what? You're at a season where the baton of life is starting to be passed to you. And so, you know what, for a lot of us, man, for the longest time, you know, we were like waiting in the race of life, like waiting for the next runner to give us the baton. Like, come on, I'm ready. Give me that. And now, actually, as we see the baton coming our way, some of us are like, you know, we're scared. We're not sure if we want it. And then some of us who have grabbed the baton of life and now we have it and we're starting to run with it. I mean, we're nervous. We're scared. We're like, oh, I don't know. Am I going to drop it? Can I hold this? Can I hold it down? Now I'm out of the house. You know, can I hold down a job? Or I just finished school. I'm gonna go to college now. Or I graduated college now. I'm gonna start my career. What's next? Or I just got married. You know, what's next? Or, you know, I just got a promotion at my job and now I'm managing people. What's next? And again, all those things in life that a lot of us are starting to get that baton passed to us, and we're wondering like, oh, man, can I do this? Can I do this? Like, we're kind of nervous about it. We can be looking to God. We can feel inexperienced. We can feel inadequate. We can feel like, man, I'm gonna fail. I'm scared I'm gonna mess up. We can feel like we have no confidence left. You know, many times in my life, guys, I felt exactly like that. Even this past year, there's been some major things that God has put in my life for me to accomplish as I lead Crossover Church, and the church is continuing to grow, and we're doing 3 services, and you know, we're running out of space, and we're looking to move to a new facility, and all these things that have been on my plate of trying to get us ready for that move, and you know, help people get behind the vision and raise money for that. And you know, even in a bad economy, it's been challenging, but I know the baton has been passed to me. You know, and I gotta run with it, and I gotta trust God. And it reminds me of this story from the scripture. Even if you haven't read the Bible much before, you've probably heard of this character from the Bible, from the Old Testament. His name was Moses. He's the one who led the Israelites, you know, out of slavery in Egypt. And I'm sure that most of you are familiar with that story. Even if you've never cracked open the Bible, maybe you've seen the movie The Prince of Egypt. Well, that story was really about Moses' life. And he led his people, the Israelites, out of slavery in Egypt and was leading them to the Promised Land. But before they got to the Promised Land, they kind of wandered around in circles in the desert for about 40 years. And it should have only taken about 40 days or so. But because they were being disobedient to God and murmuring, and God just kind of had them going around in circles as he was trying to teach them some lessons. And sometimes we feel like that, right? Where we're going in circles, we don't know which way to go as we have the baton, but we got to focus in and we got to follow God, and we got to see, God, what do you have next for my life? And it can be a scary season, but you know what? As Moses was bringing those people through the wilderness, there was another guy that was his assistant, his right-hand man. He was always there by his side, as a dude named Joshua. And Joshua was just always holding it down in the background for Moses. And it got to Moses' point in Moses' life where he was older, and he was getting up there in years. And it even came to a point to where Moses was disobedient to God himself and got upset one time and, you know, struck the rock out of anger. And God said to Moses, you know what? You're going to lead the people up to the edge of the Promised Land, but you're not going to lead them into the Promised Land. You're going to be able to see the Promised Land, but you're not going to be able to go because you disobeyed me. And I mean, that must have broke Moses' heart. He did all these things, but, you know, but he failed in some things as well. He was human. So who was going to lead them? Well, this other guy that was his number 2 guy, Joshua. And you know what? It came to the point in Moses' life where he prayed over Joshua and he passed the baton. He said, here you go, man. It's all you. And so there's Joshua like taking the baton, and Moses died, and now they're about to cross over into the Promised Land, and there's this river that they got to cross. It's called the Jordan River. And you know, it's a pretty big river, but actually the season he was about to cross in was like the springtime when the river was at flood stage. I mean, it's like whitewater rafting. I mean, there's like big rapids and everything. And so there he is, the young dude, the new guy, got the baton in his hand, and he's standing at the edge of the river looking at these roaring waves. And then he's looking behind him, and the whole mass of Israel, all the people, like he just looks back and sees a sea of heads looking at him like, okay, where we going? What we doing? What's next? What are you doing, rookie? You know, and so he's looking behind him, all these people looking to him with questions like, can he really do it? Can he do it like Moses? Is he gonna be a good leader? So that's what's behind him, and then in front of him is this raging river. And so imagine what Joshua might have been feeling at that point in time. Man, if you got a Bible, I encourage you, read the book of Joshua. Joshua chapter 1 kind of tells that whole scenario of how God encouraged them and said, have strength, have courage. Like everything I've told you to do, you're gonna be able to do it if you just trust me. If you just take that baton and you hold on to my hand and we'll run together and I'll run with you and I'll show you how to do it. And so maybe you're at a season in your life right now where you feel like that, like the baton has been passed to you and you feel inexperienced, you feel inadequate, you wonder, you doubt sometimes, like I even do sometimes, like, man, can I do all this, God? And maybe that's you today. Maybe you're looking behind you and people are looking up to you, but what you're looking in front of is like rapids and you're like, man, I don't know how I can get through this. I don't know how I can cross this. Man, the economy's bad right now. Man, I can't do this, I can't do that. Stop saying I can't, because you know, with God, you can do all things. And in context, that meaning all things that God has for you to do. God has some specific plans that exactly only you can do. And I'd also encourage you this. There might be even some viewers out there that maybe you're a little older. Maybe you're at the age where you're passing the baton. I want to encourage you, like, learn to let go. Learn to give the baton to the younger generation, but don't just like give it and then just leave. Like give it, but then walk alongside of us and mentor us and help us and show us how to do it, because we need you. And you know what? If you look at a godly perspective of how the baton is passed, each generation, each person that gets the baton should do an even better job as the person that went before him teaches them and trains them. See, the world doesn't look at it like that. Like when the baton is passed, like they just give it to them and they're out, because they don't want the person after them to do it better. They want to be remembered as the one who did it great. But see, God's mindset is like we share, we teach, we show the next person how to do what needs to be done so it can be done even better. And God gets the credit, God gets the glory, God gets the praise. And so, man, I want to encourage you wherever you're at, whether you're out there and you're passing the baton or whether you're receiving the baton, let God do his thing and know and be encouraged that God is going to help you walk through whatever rapids, whatever storm, whatever economy, whatever drama, God is going to help you push through it. He's done it in my life. He's continuing to do it. And let's do this walk together, man. Let's push forward. Let's run this race for Jesus Christ, man, because that's the only thing this race is really for, man. Life is meaningless without him and the purposes and the plans that he has for me and he has for you. So discover that, find that, grab that baton and run with it. So yo, man, if you got some comments for us, you just want to tell us some good stuff that's happening in your life, hit us up. If you got some questions, hit us up. You know, you see the email, the website, the MySpace, hit us up. If you got some things you want to share with us, man, we love to hear from you guys. So until next time, man, if you're wondering what's next, man, look to Jesus Christ. He's going to show you, because we got next.